The cold alien word wind screamed across the strange alien desert, full of red dust and broken stones. The human, lost and tired, fell to his knees. His ship had crashed 2 days ago, and he had no water left. His skin burned under the twin suns, and the cold night was coming soon. He knew he would not survive much longer. Then, through the dust, he saw her. A tall alien woman stood there. Her skin was smooth and glowing blue, her silver eyes shining like stars. She wore strange armor that looked both ancient and advanced. For a moment, he thought he was imagining her, but she stepped closer, silent and graceful, and held out her hand. Without a word, she helped him stand. Her fingers were cold but strong. She led him across the rocky ground, moving quickly and easily, while he struggled to keep up. He did not know where they were going, but he followed her. What choice did he have? They reached a hidden cave, deep in the cliffs. Inside, it was warm and dry. Strange glowing plants grew along the walls, filling the cave with a soft blue light. A small fire burned in the center. The human sat down heavily, exhausted but safe finally. She spoke. Her voice was soft but cold. "I wasn't made for love, human." The words surprised him. He had expected a greeting, a name, some questions. But this, "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice hoarse from thirst. She handed him a small metal cup filled with clear water. He drank greedily. She sat down across from him, but kept her distance. Her silver eyes watched him carefully, but without warmth. "I saved your life because I could," she said flatly, "not because I care. I do not feel anything." The human felt a chill run down his spine. She looked so beautiful, so graceful, but her words were empty and cold. "Who are you?" he asked carefully. She paused before answering. "My name does not matter. I am alone here, and I will stay alone." He looked around the cave. Symbols were carved into the stone walls, strange writing he couldn't understand. They glowed faintly, almost like they were alive. The air felt heavy, as if the cave itself was hiding secrets. The alien woman stood and walked to a corner of the cave. There was a small device there, glowing softly. She touched it, and for a moment her face changed. A look of sadness flashed in her eyes, but then it was gone. "I wasn't made for love," she repeated. "That is my truth." The human felt curiosity rising inside him. She was not like any alien he had heard of before. If she did not care, why had she saved him? Why did she offer him water and shelter? He tried to speak kindly. "Thank you for saving me." She turned her head slightly. "You do not need to thank me." Silence fell between them. The fire cracked softly, and the wind howled outside the cave. But then he noticed something strange. In the corner of the cave, where she had stood, there were marks on the wall, deep scratches, almost like claw marks, and beside them, a drawing. Two figures, one human and one alien, holding hands. The drawing looked old, but it was hers. He felt a shiver of mystery. She said she was not made for love. But why did she draw this? Why did her eyes look sad when she touched the machine? What was she hiding? He lay down on the soft alien blanket she gave him, pretending to sleep. But in his mind, questions kept spinning. Who was she really? What was this cave? And why did she look so alone, even though she claimed to feel nothing outside? The wind screamed louder, but inside the cave, something even darker seemed to wait. A secret hidden behind her cold words. Strange nights together. The cave was quiet, but inside, the human could not rest. At night, the alien woman sat near the cave entrance, staring out into the dark. The blue light from the glowing plants made her look almost like a statue, beautiful but distant, cold but sad. He watched her secretly from his blanket. She had saved him, but she stayed far from him. Her words still echoed in his mind. "I wasn't made for love." Why did she say that? Why did she look so lonely if she didn't care? The next day, she spoke little. She moved quickly around the cave, checking small machines and strange glowing stones. Her movements were smooth, but without emotion. But the human noticed something. Every night she walked out of the cave and disappeared into the desert for hours, and when she returned, there was a strange sadness in her eyes. Even though her face stayed calm, that night, curiosity took hold of him that as soon as she left. He followed her, quietly, carefully. The desert wind was cold, and the sand felt sharp beneath his boots, but he did not stop. She moved fast, almost floating over the ground. She climbed tall rocks, crossed narrow paths, until she reached a strange place. There, half buried in the sand, was a ruined metal structure. It looked like a temple or an old alien laboratory. Faded lights blinked weakly on its walls. The human hid behind a rock and watched. The alien woman knelt in front of the building. She touched a broken metal door gently, almost like she cared. For it, her fingers traced strange symbols carved into the door. Suddenly, she spoke softly, but her voice was filled with pain. I am not made for love. I am not made for feeling. I am not made for hope. Her words were like a chant. The human's heart felt heavy as he listened. Then she reached inside the ruin and pulled out a small silver device. The device glowed for a second and made a soft hum, like it was alive. She pressed it against her arm, and a glowing pattern appeared on her skin. The human could see it clearly now, lines of symbols running up her arm, glowing faint blue. They looked almost like scars, scars that told a story. Suddenly, she froze. She turned her head sharply. She sensed him. Human, she said coldly, without looking back. Why are you here? The human stepped out from behind the rock. I followed you, he said honestly. She stood slowly, holding the silver device tightly. This is not your concern, but I want to understand, he said gently. Why do you say you weren't made for love? What happened to you? For a moment, she said nothing. The desert wind swirled around them. Then she spoke, her voice soft but sharp. Long ago, I was changed. I was part of a program. My kind removed feelings from me, and many others like me, to make us perfect. Perfect soldiers, perfect hunters, perfect killers. She looked at him finally. Her silver eyes shimmered under the starlight. I cannot love. I cannot trust. That is how I was designed. The human took a step closer. But you saved me. Her grip on the silver device tightened. That was a mistake. Silence filled the desert. Then she turned and began walking back to the cave, leaving him alone by the ruined building. But before she disappeared into the darkness, she whispered words that shook him. If you stay near me, human, you will be hurt. The human stood there, staring at the ruin, at the strange scars on her skin, and at the empty night sky. A mystery surrounded this alien woman. But deep inside, he felt one thing. She was not truly cold. Something inside her was broken. And maybe, just maybe, he could help fix it. Hidden pain revealed back in the cave. The human could not sleep. His mind was full of questions about the alien woman. Who had done this to her? Why did she speak of herself like a machine? And what was that strange silver device she used on her arm? She sat near the fire, quiet as always, but he noticed her eyes watching the flames, as if lost in old memories. When the human woke the next morning, she was gone again. This time, curiosity pushed him further. He decided to search the cave, to understand her past. He looked carefully at the walls, covered in glowing symbols. His fingers touched them softly. Some of the symbols looked like drawings. One picture caught his attention, a tall figure like her, standing inside a strange machine. The machine had wires connected to her head and chest. Below it, there was another image, a heart symbol, but cracked and broken in half. His heartbeat quickened. In the corner of the cave, hidden behind some blankets, he found something else. A strange panel built into the stone. It had buttons with glowing letters. He hesitated, but then pressed one. The panel slid open. Behind it was a small room, dark, cold, and strange. Inside this secret chamber was a large metal machine. It hummed quietly, its surface smooth and silver. On it, written in glowing letters, were the words, Emotion Control Unit. The human felt a chill. Was this the machine that had taken her feelings away? He stepped closer and touched the surface. A soft light blinked, and suddenly, the machine's screen lit up. It showed strange data, but one thing he could understand. Subject, altered. Emotions, locked. Condition, irreversible. His heart sank. At that moment, the alien woman appeared in the doorway. Her eyes flashed with anger, real anger. For the first time since he met her, Her voice rose, sharp and full of emotion. "What are you doing here?" she demanded. The human stepped back slowly. I wanted to know the truth. I wanted to understand you." She walked toward him, her face hard, her silver eyes glowing brighter than ever. "You shouldn't have seen this," she said. "This is my curse." She touched her arm, and the glowing scars appeared again, running up to her shoulder. "I was altered by my own people," she whispered. "They took my feelings, my love, my hope. They removed them all so I could become the perfect hunter." Her voice trembled slightly, just slightly, and the human saw it, a crack in her cold mask. "But I think you still feel something," he said gently. She froze. For a moment, silence filled the chamber. The soft hum of the machine was the only sound. Then she spoke again, her voice softer now. "Why do you care, human? I am not made for love. I told you." He looked into her silver eyes. "Not afraid. Because I think you can feel again," he said. "I think your heart is still inside you, hidden, waiting." A shadow of sadness crossed her face. "No one has ever said that to me before," she whispered. The human took a step closer, slowly, carefully. He placed his hand gently on hers. Her fingers trembled, the first real sign that she was breaking, free from the cold prison inside her. But just then, a sharp alarm sounded from the machine. A red light flashed on the screen. "Warning, hunters approaching. Danger level high." Her face hardened instantly. "You should leave, human," she said quickly. "They are coming for me, and they will destroy anyone who helps me." But he shook his head. "I won't leave you," he said firmly. Her silver eyes met his, and for a brief moment, there was something new in them. A flicker of feeling. A spark of hope. The human touch alarm light from the machine flashed. Red, bathing the cave in an eerie glow. The alien woman stood still, her face tense but calm, as if she had faced this danger before. But the human could see something different this time. She was no longer completely cold. "Hunters are coming," she said. "You must leave." But the human refused. "I will stay. I can't leave you like this," he said softly. Her silver eyes narrowed. "Why? I am not worth saving. I was designed without feeling." The human stepped closer, closing the space between them. He gently touched her arm, the arm where the glowing scars ran deep. Her body stiffened at his touch, but she did not pull away. "Maybe they tried to remove your feelings," he said quietly, "but you saved me. You offered me shelter, food, water. You didn't have to, but you did." She looked away, as if ashamed. For a moment, the alarm was the only sound in the cave. Then he did something unexpected. He smiled. He picked up a small metal bowl, filled it with the last of their rations, and carefully heated it over the fire. "Come sit," he said, his voice calm. The alien woman hesitated. She had never shared a meal like this before. It was something so small, so human. But slowly, she sat beside him. They ate quietly. The human told a story from Earth, a funny, simple tale about how he once got lost in the rain as a child and found a dog. That became his best friend. His laughter was soft and warm. It filled the cold cave with a strange warmth she hadn't felt before. And then she smiled. It was brief, almost invisible, but he saw it. Her cold mask cracked just a little more. "You smiled," he said gently. Her eyes widened, and she quickly looked away. No, that was not real. But the human just nodded. "I think it was outside." The wind howled. The red alarm light stopped suddenly, replaced by a single message on the screen. "Hunters arriving. 2 hours." She stood, her face turning, serious again. "They will be here soon. And when they arrive, they will not stop. They will destroy everything." The human stood too, but he placed a hand on her shoulder before she could speak more. "I will help you fight," he said simply. Her eyes met his, uncertain. "I don't understand you," she whispered. "You are weak. You are alone. Why risk everything for me?" His answer was soft, but strong. "Because you're not as cold as you think, and you don't have to be alone anymore." She looked down at her hands. For the first time in years, they trembled. Was it fear? Or something deeper? Hope? The human could feel the tension in the air. The hunters would arrive soon. But something inside her was changing. He knew it. Her walls were falling slowly, piece by piece, not because of any machine, but because of something simple: kindness. The alien woman, who once believed she wasn't made for love, was beginning to feel again. But time was running out. Danger returns. The cave felt quiet again. Too quiet. The warmth between them was real now. But outside, danger was getting closer. The alien woman stood near the cave entrance, staring into the distance. Her silver eyes shone brightly as if she could already see them. The hunters, she spoke softly, almost to herself. They are near, only 2 hours, maybe less. The human walked up behind her. What do these hunters want with you? He asked gently. She turned, her face showing a mix of sadness and fear. They are not just hunters. They are the enforcers. I escaped from them long ago. I was part of their program. They made me this way, cold, empty, perfect for war. They believe I am their property. Her fingers ran across the glowing scars on her arm. If they catch me again, they will take me back and erase even the small part of me that is left. The human's heart ached for her. She spoke of herself like a machine, but the human could see her struggle. She was changing, slowly, painfully, and she was afraid. I won't let them take you, he said firmly. A small, almost invisible tear welled in her eye, but she quickly wiped it away before it could fall. You don't understand, she whispered. I am dangerous too. If they force me, I might hurt you. But the human shook his head. I trust you. For a brief moment, she lowered her head, maybe in shame, maybe in sadness. Then the ground beneath them shook slightly. A low rumble came from outside the cave. They are here, she said. They travel in armored ships. They will not speak. They will kill or capture, nothing more. She moved quickly now, checking weapons she had hidden behind the rocks. But then something caught the human's eye. In a dark corner of the cave, almost forgotten, there was an old metal box. On the side of the box, a symbol, a heart, broken and stitched together. What's this? He asked. She froze. That was my most dangerous weapon, she said quietly. But I could never activate it, because it requires something I was supposed to have lost forever. The human stepped closer. What does it need? He asked. She looked at him, and for the first time, true emotion filled her voice. It needs love. His breath caught. The box began to glow faintly, almost as if it recognized the moment between them. But there was no time left. A loud crash echoed through the valley. Outside the cave entrance, dark shapes appeared, armored hunters with glowing red eyes, tall and powerful. They have found us, she whispered. Her body moved into a fighting stance, but her silver eyes flicked once to the human. Softer now. Stay behind me, she said. But the human shook his head again. No, he said. We stand together. The alien woman hesitated, and then slowly nodded. For the first time, she accepted his help. Outside, the hunters prepared their weapons. Inside, 2 souls, 1 human, 1 alien, prepared to fight. Together, and deep inside her chest, something stirred, a feeling long buried, now awakening. Hope. Fighting together. The ground shook again. Dust fell from the ceiling of the cave as the hunters moved closer. The alien woman's face turned cold, but this time, it wasn't emptiness. It was focus. She was preparing for a fight. The human stood beside her, holding a simple tool he found, not a weapon. But he would defend her in any way he could. Outside, the hunters spoke no words. Their machines moved with deadly purpose, scanning for life, locking onto targets. Then the first blast came. The cave entrance exploded in a shower of rocks and dust. A hunter appeared in the doorway, tall, armored, its glowing red eyes cold and lifeless. Without hesitation, the alien woman jumped forward. Her movements were fast, almost impossible to follow. She struck the hunter with perfect precision, knocking it back. But more followed. 3, 4, 5 hunters entered, surrounding them. The human's heart pounded. He knew he couldn't fight like she could, but he refused to hide. Suddenly, something strange happened. The old metal box, the one with the heart symbol, began to glow brightly. A voice from the box spoke in a soft, ancient language, but somehow the alien woman understood it. It says, she whispered in shock, that I can unlock it if I feel. The hunters moved in. Weapons raised. The human grabbed her hand tightly. "You can do this," he said. "I believe in you." For a brief moment, their eyes met. His gaze was steady, warm, real. And in that moment, something inside her cracked completely. Her cold mask, built by years of control, broke. She felt fear, not for herself, but for him. She felt courage, because he stayed with her. And she felt something deeper than both, a connection she had never known before. Her scars glowed brighter, but this time, they didn't shine with cold energy. They pulsed like a heartbeat. The metal box opened on its own, releasing a soft, golden light. Suddenly, a wave of energy burst from her body, not anger, not hate, but pure emotion. The hunters froze. Their machines, built to sense threat and fear, couldn't understand this new energy. One by one, they shut down, falling to the ground like broken dolls. The alien woman stood in the middle of the cave, glowing softly, her silver eyes no longer empty. The human stepped forward, amazed. "You did it," he whispered. She turned to him, breathing hard. Her face was no longer cold. There was warmth there now, confusion, relief, and something close to peace. "I felt it," she said softly. For the first time in so long, the human smiled. But outside the cave, the largest hunter still waited, its red eyes glowing brighter than the rest. This one was different, stronger, smarter. It stepped into the cave, aiming its weapon directly at her. The alien woman moved to shield the human, but he gently pulled her back. "Together," he said calmly. "We fight together." And as the golden light from the open box filled the cave, they stood side by side, a human and an alien, no longer strangers. She clenched his hand tightly. Her cold armor was gone now. This was no longer about survival. This was about hope. About choice. About love. The battle wasn't over, but she was no longer fighting alone. A new future. Last hunter, larger, stronger, smarter, stood before them. Its weapon glowed red, ready to fire. The alien woman tightened her grip on the human's hand. For the first time in her life, she was not alone. For the first time, she truly felt alive. The human stayed calm. His heart raced, but his mind was clear. He knew that this moment would decide everything. The strange box that had opened, the one that responded to love, still glowed softly nearby. Its golden light wrapped around them like a shield. The hunter aimed and fired. A blast of energy rushed toward them. But at that very instant, the alien woman stepped forward, raising her glowing arm, the same arm marked by scars and symbols. This time, her body didn't just react like a machine. It responded to her feelings. Feelings unlocked by the human's kindness, his trust, his care. A brilliant golden shield appeared around them, pulsing like a heartbeat. The energy blast hit the shield and disappeared, harmless. The hunter froze, confused. Machines didn't understand love, trust, or courage. And then the alien woman spoke clearly, her voice strong and filled with warmth. "You cannot control me anymore." With a wave of her hand, the golden light expanded, pushing the hunter back. Its red eyes flickered and then went dark. The metal body collapsed to the ground. The fight was over. The human let out a long breath. He looked at her, really looked at her. Her silver eyes no longer looked cold or empty. Now, they sparkled with life. She turned to him slowly and said the words she had once denied herself. "I wasn't made for love, but you changed that." Her voice trembled, but this time it was real. No machine, no program, no scars could hide it now. The human smiled, stepping closer. "And now?" he asked gently. She smiled back, soft and genuine. "Now, I choose love." The sun rose slowly outside the cave, casting golden light over the alien desert. The two of them stood side by side at the entrance, a human and an alien, no longer strangers, no longer alone. Together, they watched a new day begin. A day where she was free, a day where they could build something new, a home, a life, a future. And deep in her heart, where once there was only cold emptiness, there was now warmth, hope, and something even stronger, love.